Welcome to the World Games Mixed Ultimate Flying Disc Gold Medal match, the final game from 3 days of intense competition here from Wrocław in Poland. The Moscow Fields host this intense final between the USA and Colombia. Tom Stiles and Hannah Pendlebury calling this one for you. Under slippy conditions under feet, Hannah, might affect the way this game's played out.
Yes, indeed. Earlier today, we saw the weather completely turn. A beautiful morning for the first two matches, ending up actually cancelling an earlier game for the USA team against Poland. You would have thought they would have loved to have that chance to stretch their legs in advance of this match, but the wind and the rain, they came rolling in on this one. We had volunteers, staff members struggling with inflatables, keeping a close eye on all of the equipment here, but we are pleased that the sun has come back out ready for this gold medal match between the USA and Colombia. Exciting scenes guaranteed to be on this pitch as they face up in search of that first place finish.
The flying disc event has thrown up some real surprises. Previous meeting, these two, the Colombians took it in sudden death in the most exciting game of the tournament. Brilliant performance from them, taking the USA to a 5-1 start and then taking the half with a Callahan for us to take the half 7-3.
Indeed, and what a game that was. Absolute nail-biter. All of the social media from the Ultimate fans going completely wild. An unexpected result. Colombia really the giant killer of this tournament. Definitely underestimated coming in. Even the Polish team, who finished out with a very respectable 6th place, 26th in the world versus the top 5 teams. Absolute credit to themselves at this World Games tournament. But they considered Colombia to be within reach of them. And Colombia have shown up at this tournament with dominant form. So definitely excited to see what they will come out with against their rematch against this very capable USA side. Looked a little bit shaky this morning, but found their form eventually against USA, and here we go.
Now the first pull of the game. The rain will cause a bit of difficulty for the fast-cutting Colombians, and some of the bigger players trying to change direction. Great break from Anna Nazarov. Straight across into the hands of Jimmy Mickle in the centre of the field. Kittredge, in a 50 shirt. Tall American, famed for his athleticism. Again, Nazarov breaking across. Sends the disc into the end zone. Fast cutting. Mosquera goes up for the block, but there's no stopping Sandy Jorgensen. Catches that one for the first clean point. And two amazing shots inside from Nazarov to open up the space on the field.
Yeah, absolutely scandalous inside backhand throws there. And Jorgensen up there going big against Mosca there. Just really not afraid to go up and get physical, reel that one in. Jorgensen, one of the most feared defenders usually in the domestic scene over in the States, and proving exactly why there. No fear, just going for the disc. Full throttle. Excellent play first off from this USA team.
There's a Caroline Finney backhand using her prowess with the disc into the space. Mosquera was making ground against Jorgensen there.
Oh no, definitely on the shoulder, and we expect her to be in that position all throughout this match. She is not going to make it easy for any of the USA women here. Such an excellent matchup. Just so exciting. Yes, great way to start this game. Let's see what the Americans can try and do on defense after that lovely offense. And certainly the Colombians will be eager to get out the blocks too.
If you've never seen the sport of ultimate flying disc before, you'll notice that the teams will change ends after every point. That's to account for the wind. Pleased to say that there's absolutely no wind out there. The storm has passed. It's a calm day, perfect conditions for high-quality ultimate.
Indeed, the wind just dropping before this game started, actually. Almost like it's meant to be.
Breaks required around the long arms of Leanne Hoffman, but a hand block. It's a turnover right at the start of this game. Chance for an early break for the USA. Lindsley combines with Stubbs into the end zone. Fast cutting from Claire Desmond. She slides to her knees. Impressive start from the USA.
Yeah, excellent work there from Desmond. Casual knee slide to take that one 2-0. And an excellent hand block there from Hoffman. The matchups against the women-to-women on these teams will be so crucial. The Colombian side being crafted around a core unit of female players who've been playing together with the coach on this squad for a very long time. So USA doing an excellent job on those matchups so far.
Hoffman plays ultimate for Boston Brute squad. Capped just one time before last year at the World Championships in London, playing with the USA women's team.
Indeed, one of the lesser-known players on this USA side, having had a bit of an ACL tear at the end of her college career, so a little bit of a slow start to her club seasons, but definitely now well-deserved to be on this world stage.
Jimmy Mickle, blonde tips on his hair. So much height on that pull. Oh, that is an incredible pull. Kocher arriving down to start the force, deep in their own end zone. The pressure building on the Colombians from the USA. If one of these discs between the Colombian players is caught by one of the members of the opposition USA team, it will be an immediate score if they do it within the end zone. That's referred to as a Callahan.
Indeed, Callahan also lending itself to one of the awards over in the States, of which this USA team is very highly decorated with. Number of players being awarded that honour.
Starts off again with Ford. The game of ultimate is self-refereed. The yellow-shirted people on the sideline are game advisors. They can be called upon where there's difficulty. High disc, Mickle chasing in, trying to get a block on that. But it's safely in the hands of Duque, and he centres it, and another pick called.
Yeah, lovely footwork there from Mickle, using those fast feet to stop himself and put that force on immediately, trying to stop that offender from being able to put any passes upfield.
Really tight one-on-one defence from the USA, using their athleticism. Alba with the disc, marked by Bo Kittredge. Third World Games for Bo Kittredge. Colombia managing to make their way outside their own end zone. Finney marking. Now they have a little bit more space with Ford. Cross to Cartagena. Duque again. Kittredge trying to stop that dump pass. Torres. Duque. Lovely low disc to Ford. Cartagena. Deep shot available, didn't take it. Around to Cardenas.
Let's go defense! Let's go the team!
Yeah, no, smart of Cartagena to holster that one. They want to put this point in, get on the board.
Into the end zone. And caught by Colombia. Finally establishing themselves.
Yes, indeed, and put it in they do. A lovely inside break there to set up that play across the field. Safely into the hands of number 33, Valeria Cardenas, one of the Cardenas twin sisters who are so dominant on this team. The tender age of 17 years old. They will turn 18 in 5 days, their birthday on the 28th of July. Don't know if they'll be back home, but certainly celebrating having a nice shiny medal around their necks nonetheless.
Now, first World Games medal for the Colombians guaranteed after their strong performance, beating the USA and beating Canada in the pool, as well as Japan and the hosts Poland. But this morning they came up against an in-form Australian team. Game was actually academic, so we weren't sure whether we were seeing the full force of the Colombian side. They rallied towards the end, but Australia took that game by some margin. Not sure whether too much can be read into the performance from Colombia this morning.
Well, they certainly seem to have learned their lessons coming into this match. It was a nice, patient run of smooth offense there. USA doing everything within their ability to try and shut it down, but really nice to see Colombia coming out with class.
Georgia Boscher, one of the captains for the USA World Games team. Nick Stewart now fakes the backhand, gets the forehand down to Lien Hoffman.
Ridiculously open for that pass.
Back to Boscher, middle of the pitch, cutting up a little bit after that rain. Big disc into traffic from Boscher. The target was Lindsley, and the two Colombian players have collided.
Bit of friendly fire there, but both players smiling.
Valeria Candenes as Boscher sends the disc. Duque trying to bid.
Yes, indeed, both of them going for that gold, very much so. But thankfully, neither coming up with an injury.
So a turnover. Lindsley horsing a little bit in the middle of the field, and now poaching off. Not getting there quite quick enough. But the pressure from the USA is very tangible. Middle of the field. Sends it deep. Pressure over the top to Mosquera's the target. She catches it in. Sarah Griffith swings her arm at the underside of the disc, but it's just too high for her.
And Colombia will be delighted with that. A break of score against this USA team. What displacement just to sail over the head of Sarah Griffith. Not the tallest defender on the USA team, but by goodness, that was a great put. And all generated by that heads-up defense and slight collision from Duque and Cardenas at the other end of the field. Duque actually commenting on his the 2013 World Games in Cali, which they attended by virtue of being the hosting nation, much as Poland have been here at this Wrocław tournament. He said that it was the best feeling going into a stadium of 40,000 people cheering and screaming, "Let's go Colombia." He said it's no comparison with anything he's ever felt before, and he never wanted to leave the field. So back again, now in the gold medal match. Let's hope he can find some of that inspiration from Cali and bring it to this game.
Big pull downfield to the team in white. Distinctive hairstyle of Dylan Freechild in the centre of the field with the 5 shirt on his back, finding Jimmy Mickle. Look for the same players involved at the start every time, trying to catch the pull, make a quick start, centering the disc to a standard initiating handler. Kittredge now, oh, he almost stepped over and put a big arm into that disc. Desmond, sorry, it was Griffith, bidding hard, pressure from the Colombians.
Great switch off of the ladies there to recover from that bid. Bit of a gamble.
Mickle, Freechild down the line. I got it, Bo. He shouts, now uses Bo Kittredge as the reset. Goes across to Nazarov. Look for that break. Low disc into the hands of Jorgensen. Right across the field, the target was Griffith, but the disc was poor. Colombia with an opportunity here to take the lead by virtue of USA handling errors.
Yes, indeed. An uncharacteristic, unforced error there from Jorgensen. They'll be putting on the defensive pressure now, trying to get that disc back.
Mosquera. Down to Manuela Cardenas. Gina Cartagena. Ceballos. Right across the field into space. Going to be some Freechild pressure underneath it, but what a disc that is. Side to side, corner to corner. And into the front of the end zone. Colombia breaking the USA twice to get back in the lead of this one. 3-2. USA had looked nervous at the start of their last encounter with the Colombians. Is that happening again now, Hannah?
I don't know. They came out pretty strong, looking pretty slick to the Americans, but Colombia now starting to fight back, finding that form. Really nice to see. They took a long time to warm up in that Australia game this morning. But certainly the USA doing well, having not had any match earlier by virtue of the Storm cancelling their match against Poland, which would have been a nice opportunity for them to just stretch their legs, really hone that offense in advance of this match. They're now coming in, of course, with fresher legs than the Colombians, perhaps, but Colombia have had a very large break, and these squads are just so phenomenally fit.
It'd be interesting to hear from the USA coming into this match whether they thought it was actually an advantage to not have to play that game, therefore save some energy, or it would have been an advantage to have a run out, test a few strategies, just get their mental game on target. You could argue it either way.
Well, it'll be nice. It would have been nice to obviously to play a competitive game and get in that mindset, and any sort of change to your game plan on the day is always going to put you on the back foot mentally. You know, that will have, you know, maybe knock them off a little bit. I think the USA team are definitely going to have an excellent mental game, definitely. But having lost to this Colombian team in the early stages of this tournament, now having to take them on, things being different, it just puts that little bit of spice into the pot. Maybe makes this less of a sure thing. But certainly they came out hard and strong. And at this stage of the game, it really can be anyone. So all still to play for. Let's see what happens, Tom.
Colombian defense applying the pressure, but it was USA handling errors twice, once throwing into traffic and once throwing into the grass.
Yeah, no, they will need to cut those out if they want to hang tough against this Colombian side, because they are fired up and ready to take it.
The pull goes up, and it's going to drift towards the sideline and out. If the disc doesn't land inside the pitch, the attacking team can either take the disc from the edge of the field where the disc left the field, or they can bring it in to the brick mark, which is this X on the middle of the surface, as we see George Stubbs, USA captain, alongside Georgia Boscher as the female captain.
Oh, lovely, devastating inside backhand break again there.
Free child exposed on the far side, and here's Boscher now, combining with her co-captain Stubbs as he runs into the end zone. Kocher has it. Boscher's running to the back corner. Free child available for the reset, but there's going to be a lot of pressure applied by Ford. Nice little release from Free child to Kocher. We see him accelerate the intensity of the 5 shirt. The shot from Boscher is like a bullet straight into the hands of Leanne Hoffman, leveling it up.
Yeah, no, the USA looking a little bit end zone hungry there, looking up that channel on that far side of the pitch for a little bit too long, and then finally unlocking that those very, very open players by just taking on the force, swinging the disc across to the other side, and there we have it. Hoffman just miles free from anybody at all. Says it all.
And that shot from Boscher is showing the power. Former Callahan Award winner in 2009.
Indeed, the same year in which they won the finals against Fury, 15-4 in her club team. And the throws are very much her weapon of choice in this game.
Been playing since 2012 for Madison Heist, and a returning World Games player, featured in the USA lineup in Cali in Colombia.
Indeed, so already a World Games medal, gold to her name. And the other end of that score, Leanne Hoffman. We were talking, had the chance to talk to Mike Lawler earlier, and he described as her, having seen her turn up to a Boston practice, her first ever, he immediately knew she should be playing on this World Games stage at this level.
Torres starts the action. Pass back to Ford. Threatens that deep shot. Disc tapped back in by Freechild, back to Ford. A pick has been called. Centre of the field, Cartagena. Ospina. Kept alive by Ford, great bid. The disc is going to go back.
Call on the field. What a saviour Ford is with those treadlocks, just getting low, putting his body on the floor, keeping that disc alive.
Anna Nazarov, big smile from her, losing her balance and falling into Laura Ospina.
Yeah, Ospina with the disc in hand, looking very dangerous, as she always does. USA very well aware of her, a long-time player at the Colombian national level, including the World Junior 2010 gold medal.
Colombia being careful with this disc. They have the advantage in this game at the moment. Well, one break up against the USA, and they need to treasure possession. Nazarov down in the middle of the field. A pick called.
Yeah, keep your eyes up, D. Use your head, keep your eyes up on defense.
You can hear the the American sideline there getting very loud, looking for that 8th man defensive block.
Floats across. There's going to be some pressure here from Kittredge. Just gets a tip to it and following it back in. Oh, what incredible action we've seen. Bo Kittredge rises. Montano rescues the disc.
Yeah, Montano, action man role there, but Kittredge will bring... Oh no, Mikkel will bring that one back.
Colombia losing a little focus after that great save. Jorgensen now rises. USA have it back. Looking to break back and get it on serve again. Lindsley back to Kittredge. Cross to Nazarov. A pick's called. Jorgensen very free. Bo Kittredge doing what he does. Just the fingertip to that one. But what a save. Bounces up onto his feet.
Yeah, an excellent intelligence there from Bo as well, seeing that Montano definitely had the position on that one. And letting him do his thing. Nazarov here with the disc. We've already seen some sensational inside backhands from her to break the mark. But a forehand force now. See what she can do.
Lindsley. Down to Freechild. Kittredge keeps to the continuation cut, but what a dive from Ford. Even the dive couldn't stop the disc being made. Let's have a look at where the feet were in. Yeah, had his back foot down. Nick Stewart signals his view. It's the players on the field that have to make the call. Game advisors confirm that call has been made. USA back on serve with that break.
Yes, indeed, one of the more important aspects of spirit of the game here. Self-refereed sport, the sportsmanship known as spirit of the game. Although it does encapsulate a little bit more than just plain sportsmanship, but players not on the field, not able to give input unless they're being asked to, which is such a discipline in these teams. Something at the lower levels you sometimes see people getting involved, but really important to just have those calm discussions, allow the players on the field with the best perspective to make those calls.
So Claire Desmond, devastating in the end zone this week. Her stats tell the story. 7 stats to her name, 5 goals and 2 assists. We've already seen one sliding knee effort inside this gold medal matchup. USA up by virtue of the fact that they started with the disc. We're back on serve. It's a game to 13. The clock is running. And if it gets to 80 minutes, then we'll see a time cap.
Indeed, and then it will be add 1 to the highest score and play till that. But this pitch starting to look a little bit churned up after the rain. It's been very, very dry and solid all week. Players slipping around with long cleats, but the rain now starting to sink in, giving players a little bit more traction, but almost too much at this stage. You can see the dark patches in the middle of the field.
Disc across to Cartagena. Such rapid movement from the Colombians. Montano. Cartagena. Deep threats being taken away. High stall count is a ejection disc into the zone. And it's Hoffman cleaning up the garbage. It was a high stall count, emergency pass. Anywhere but here. And Leanne Hoffman reads that better than anybody else.
Yeah, no, seeing that Colombian offense there looking a little bit static and lots of players near the disc, not giving the room to make those resets. But a quick American huck to Sarah Griffith. Excellent run down there.
Well, she's running away from the disc, getting the signal back from Leanne Hoffman. The smile on her face. Griffith completely unmarked after that incredible grab. Watch the focus here. The bid. Oh, what form and technique. Dives, catches.
Yeah, that's a sensational snag there from Griffith. And Hoffman signalling, Sarah, you're so free.
Just come back, Sarah, come back.
That's what we'd call a button hook on my women's club team. You go, you take the hut down, you dish it off, and you immediately look for that score. But Griffith choosing to let her experienced team back her up on that one, with Boscher taking that one in.
Oh, they'll be discussing who really should have got the stat. Boscher will have that one to her name, no doubt. Matty Sang, one of the two coaches here for the USA team, as the USA extend their lead by 1. 3 points in a row. And it's been a game of runs so far. USA scoring the first 2 points, and then the Colombians scoring their offense and breaking the USA back twice to go 3-2 up. And now the USA scoring a run of 3 points of their own. Mosquera adjusts her feet, comes back. Great matchup between Mosquera and Jorgensen. Martinez, big disc, deep into the end zone. So much separation and so much time. Ivan Alba collects the disc. What a put that was.
Oh my goodness, yes. No, talking about these runs of points, it's like both teams are very, very adaptive. The defense will change something, and then they have those 3 points where they can shut them down, and then the adjustment happens. And just look at this disc flying through the air to the very, very open Alba at the end of it. First time at this World Game stage, but definitely by no means a newcomer to international level ultimate, with caps at both World Championships in London last year and back at the World Clubs in 2010.
30-year-old started playing Ultimate after getting disillusioned with soccer.
Indeed, many of these Colombian players actually soccer converts, or football to you and I. Really attracted to the level of just this, I would say, this concept of spirit of the game and what that brings to this sport. Just the lack of aggression perhaps seen in other sports. Definitely high intensity, high effort game, but just with such a level of respect amongst these elite teams.
Yeah, respect for the other players, respect for the rules. There's no referee to cheat. Stubbs. Oh, there's a possibility for a turnaround defence there from the Colombians. Unaware the disc was so close. Kittredge has it. USA using their side stack, and then quickly transitioning to a horizontal stack. You see quite often teams will shape to look like they're doing one type of offense. Bo Kittredge waits. Griffith has the disc. Mosquera in discussion. You hear the stadium announcer, travel call. Game advisors helping with the language barrier.
Indeed, a little bit more about this Colombian team, as we said, crafted around a solid core of female players, with just only 2 of the women on this roster, not a direct product of the coach Mauricio Moore's junior programs, with many titles to his name as a coach, including many Spirit of the Game titles as well, which is always lovely to see.
You see Moore on the sideline with his distinctive grey hat. Stewart across to Stubbs. Stubbs back to full effectiveness, having taken a year out in 2015. Stewart down the line. Boscher the target. Oh, what a grab from Boscher. She had to fly, and she did fly.
Oh, yes, indeed. Georgia Boscher, what a play on that one. I'm looking forward to seeing this one again.
Stewart takes it up. Big bid from the Colombians. The disc diving. Oh, Boscher. Incredible grab from Georgia Boscher.
Yeah, seeing the head Bosch on the ground for that one for sure. As she full extension lays out for that grab. What a score. Bringing it now to 6-4 to this American team. Just getting a little bit of daylight for the USA. But still plenty of game left and plenty of scores in. That brings us very close to the half. USA D-line now will be eager to take that 7th point and win the halftime, but they'll certainly have a job to do against Colombia, who do look to be very much heads in this game.
There's still only 1 break, the difference between the 2 teams. This is a critical moment for the USA. If they can get this turn and get a score from it, then they will have that extra point margin coming into the second half. Mickle. Half is it when one team reaches 7.
Oh, and that's another absolutely sensational pull from Mickle there.
Freechild eating up the yards to get down and put pressure on deep in the end zone. Across to Alba. Duque rising forward. Cartagena. Options to go deep. Doesn't take them. Spins around. No one behind her. Now she has to go. Duque, great cutting. Going deep ahead of Mickle. Turned around. Oh, a big bid from Lindsay. I don't think he touched the disc, but got enough into the face of Ford. Doesn't make the completed catch. USA with Freechild and an opportunity to take the half and a 3-point margin in this gold medal match at the World Games.
Yeah, huge defensive effort there. One play.
Oh, the disc from Jorgensen to Freechild was too high. He reached up. You can see the frustration and disappointment on his face.
That is a shame. Went for 2 hands and still couldn't come up with that one.
Alba again. Colombia calming this one down. Ospina to Alba. Beautiful float. Oh, takes it out ahead of Freechild. The point goes to Duque in the end. USA not quite taking the half yet. The Colombians are going to make them work for it.
Yes, indeed. Duque snatching that one out of the sky, and a very despondent-looking Freechild there. He knows that catch could have made all the difference a little bit earlier, but that's just the way it goes in ultimate. Catches win matches.
The difference between these 2 teams is small. Smaller than that. A hair's breadth. And as we've seen already, both teams not quite playing the cleanest of games. There's been a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, surprising number of turnovers, actually. I have to say, looking back at the bronze medal match earlier, you've got to say Canada came out in absolutely flawless form. Yeah, very, very few unforced errors from them. This one a little bit more scrappy. I mean, possibly because of the sheer intensity of the defensive efforts from both sides of the field.
So USA O-line have turned over twice. The D-line turned over once. The Colombian O-line have turned over 4 times. The D-line have not been turned over. So once the Colombians have got the disc, they've been able to score. Stewart, the tall American with the 25 on his back. Oh, just sneaks through the lane and leaving Lien Hoffman wide open. Cardenas went for that bid. Lien Hoffman on the edge of the end zone. Oh, quick 1-2 with Boscher to take the half.
Yeah, absolutely dominant there. A gamble from the defense just leaves Lien Hoffman just completely able to just get that separation. No pressure whatsoever. And as you say, the easy 1-2 for the score. Just beautiful play to watch.
So close to the block from Cardenas, poaching into that lane, looking to get a handout, looking to stop the play.
Indeed, a gamble worth taking, I think, at this gold medal match stage. If I can put my teeth back in. But that'll be the half. 7-5 to this US team against Colombia. Very, very big contrast to their game earlier on in this tournament, where it was 7-3 at the half, as you say, scored by a Callahan by Colombia. So assisted by the US for that one, but definitely a much tighter game this time around, with both teams coming out pretty strong. So let's see some highlights.
Teams of 14 players in the squad. You see that first point. Carolyn Finney, Mosquera eating up the ground behind Sandy Jorgensen. The two players clatter, but Jorgensen never took her eyes off that disc. It was always hers.
Yeah, excellent form. Great power going into that one, taking the hit, but staying on her feet.
Stubbs looking down the line. Finding Desmond. Slides to the knees, no question about the commitment.
Yeah, you can imagine her busting out that move on a dance floor or two.
The Colombians not out of this game yet.
Yes, indeed.
They'll start with the disc in the second half.
Indeed they shall. So with Ultimate Games, the flip at the beginning will determine who starts on offense, and then at the half time, doesn't matter who scored the previous point to take it to half, the reverse will be true to give the opposing team the opportunity to start with the disc.
Oh, that's that disc from Georgia Boscher into traffic. Caught beautifully by Cardenas, only to be taken out by Duque.
Yes, indeed. It's nice to see that she managed to take that hit, but is still very much appearing on the field. These Colombian women really going for it on defense. Very exciting stuff. And that forward grab.
Lara Ospina, the Kittredge block here. The big 50 shirt rises, reaches discs that only he can, but just tips that one into the path.
Yes, his third World Games appearance. Be looking to take the hat trick with the gold medals. See if that dream will come true in this game. But certainly a very big player, big name for the American side.
Won gold and the club championships in Prague in 2010 with Revolver. He's been with the team since 2009. Won national championships with them in 2013 and 2015. Runners-up in 2016 and 2012 as well. Dominant player. But Sarah Griffith there with that big takedown.
Yeah, and then remember the frustration of Leanne Hoffman when Griffith was very free, but equally free Georgia Boscher there. This team really backing each other up and chasing down those discs, giving each other options in the end zone. It can often feel a little bit like you're stranded if you've just run down a big huck and there's no one there and you've got a defender with a stall count fast approaching that 10. So players in this game having but 10 seconds to pass the disc to each other. Sounds like a very short time. In practice, quite a long time, but at this level, it feels mighty short, I can assure you.
So Colombia perhaps needing to adapt their defense and push the USA into the middle of the field. Most of their gains have been down the sideline. Cartagena set off deep. Doesn't get the first pass off. The big wingspan of Nick Stewart preventing that deep shot. Colombians still have it. Across to Cartagena.
Yeah, lots of faking of these big throws, but generally quite conservative play from the Colombian side.
Into a high disc. Stewart rises, takes that one down. Big fake from him immediately. Stuttering start. Stall count rising, but he safely gets the disc back to Boscher. Desmond cuts out. The disc is going to come back to Boscher.
Yeah, huge grab from Nick Stewart there. One of the other San Francisco Revolver players there, but also caps for Seattle Sockeye and plenty of appearances on the US men's national team, including 2 junior appearances at the under 20 level.
Georgia Boscher to Kocher. Again, pressure from the Colombians as Leanne Hoffman passes down to Desmond. Claire Desmond, Kocher's cut down the line. He's going to have to bid for it. Oh, what a grab from Chris Kocher. Tosses it back over his head and takes the hug from Sarah Griffiths and George Stubbs. What a take from Chris Kocher.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Just watching him chase that one down, using that full athletic power and the grab. My goodness. What form, what poise.
Look at the eyes. Oh, yes. Got it.
Yeah, going to the ground like that. You could say maybe that one's got to hurt, but definitely worth it on this front. But yeah, Kocher playing for New York team, Pride of New York, shortened to Pony. Under 23 appearance back in 2015. And of course the 2016 men's national team back in London at Worlds.
Yeah, winning gold.
Oh yes, winning gold at both of those championships, I should mention. And also, back in 2010, a long-time player, a World Junior Ultimate Championships gold. And of course, the Colombian women, many of them having been at that very tournament in Heilbronn, Germany. And they bested the US in their semi 13-12 all those many years ago to take that gold against Canada in the final. I was there. It was great to watch. Very exciting. And lovely to see some of them still playing at this level.
Montano at the back for Colombia to Ford. Forced back into their end zone here. USA will be sniffing for a Callahan if they can take the disc down in the end zone. Big presence from Mickle. The 4 Colombian men closest to the disc handling, with the 4 American men marking them.
Yeah, keeping those very big bodies of the stature of the USA Ultimate men's players, keeping them well away from their rapid-fire females down the pitch.
A lot of teams using gender pods to try and poach off these high stall count. Big disc going up. Oh, the figure of Lindsley rises to Mickle, to Freechild.
Yes.
Back to Mickle.
far too much hang time on that disc. You can't put those against the Americans. They are going to come down with them.
Jimmy Mickle. Free child into the front corner. Mickle wants to make sure of this one. Round to Bo Kittredge. Sandy Jorgensen had got free in that front corner. Again, the USA not taking the 50-50 options. They're making sure of it. Kittredge just watches his toes right across the front of the end zone. And a beautiful break. Forehand flick into the space.
Yes, indeed, that's lovely. Patient play from USA there. Happy to just keep resetting the disc and waiting for that perfect shot. And what a shot it was. Bo very, very free there on the far side of that pitch. Both of these medal matches, plenty of expansive play, using the disc, fast throws to get to the other side where the defenders aren't. Really nice to see from Mickle there.
Jimmy Mickle, credited by coach Alex Gesquier, coming into the process of choosing this team. Mickle, probably most people's pick to be top of the pick list.
Yeah, very capable player and great connections as well with his teammates, playing at one of the pro league levels in the States with Kittredge, having played Team Eric with Freechild at Manila Spirits, which is an all-star team, and playing with Desmond, Freechild, Payne and Kittredge, I believe, actually, at that team, Eric. But yes, definitely one for your fantasy picks. If you're going to play some Fantasy Ultimate at home, where you pick one player from either team, and you get points for things they do well, minus points for things they do not so well. But thankfully, both teams across the board putting amazing plays, just like that one. What a ripper, but picked off by the USA.
Nick Stewart rising and quickly passing across to Sarah Griffith. Stubbs. Kocher. Stewart again. Kocher into space. Nice vision and execution from Stewart, seeing that gap. Gap only existed for a moment. And a timeout called by co-captain George Stubbs.
Yeah, didn't like what he saw downfield, so taking the time to just have a pause, and they'll set up again after having a little chat. But for Colombia, they're now starting to take those longer options. I don't know if it's by virtue of the change of the USA defense, but they looked very, very patient and conservative early on this game, and that really worked for them, using the shorter field, using their agility to get free under and holstering those larger shots, but those discs just sitting in the air and getting plucked out by the very, very large stature of the USA. I think Colombia need to maybe rethink that one.
See the World Flying Disc Federation President Nobrao and the Japanese Flying Disc Federation Moro at the back of the stands, watching this World Games final. Anna Nazarov in your shot right now.
Yeah, she's having a great game today, Nazarov. Very, very capable handler indeed for this USA offense.
The Colombians opting to initiate play and handle the disc with their men, allowing the tall defensive force from the USA to just loiter back and apply their pressure. The Colombian women might take that space as they're initiating the play with a handler, and we might see a different thing. Not because the USA women are weak, but the Colombian women are so good.
Well, it's a battle, I think, on every throw, but oh, wow, goodness gracious.
Quick swing, quick score.
A mispositioning there, I think, on the inside of Griffith, but she exploits that to great effect.
Acceleration.
Yes, you see that perhaps the mark not able to get on to put that on, but yeah, just very, very open there.
Griffith was already on that side of the field. She paused a second, waited for Kocher to catch and look up, and then used her acceleration nice and free from the Colombian defense. Kocher inch perfect with the pass.
Yeah, Griffith, also known as Surge to her teammates, that's her frisbee nickname, and really known for her speed as USA stretch out the gap, and now quite a commanding lead, 10-5. But as we've seen when these teams met each other in earlier play on the first day of this tournament, just because there's a large gap does not mean that the opposition cannot bring it back.
10-5 then. A huge advantage for the USA in the gold medal match of the mixed flying disc ultimate. Colombia taking the timeout.
They're taking some time to collect as a team, to get that composure going. And one of the real qualities of this Colombian team is their level of support amongst each other. They're really visible when they line up, ready to play the next point. They have their hands held together. They're really working together as a unit. Clearly a lot of love, a lot of respect. Not to discredit the USA team, they have very much the same, but the visual cues amongst this Colombian team are just, yeah, really lovely to see.
Coach Mauricio Moore with the hat on. Colombians need to do a lot of work. We're talking previously about Sarah Griffith. She tore her ACL in the semi-final of the 2014 National Championships. And took quite a long time out of the game, has recovered, is back to her former prowess. At some stage she may actually be better than she was before she tore the ACL.
Well, clearly the Barnet woman, they can rebuild her. But definitely great to see her back on this pitch at this level, where she definitely deserves to be outright. Been referred to as a previous coach of hers as the coach's dream. Such care about the game.
Colombia now. Martinez finds Ospina in full stride. Mosquera on the far side, completely exposed. Finds her teammate, Cartagena.
Oh, Moscow streaking deep.
Oh, Mosquera was so free, managing to get separation from Jorgensen. Very few players in the world that can manage that. Mosquera had done it, but the disc to her was poor into the ground. Finney now picks up for the USA. This is to take them within 2 of the gold medal. Back to Jimmy Mickle. Floats it into space. Kittredge, extra step of speed to collect that disc. Colombian pressure. Big disc going up. Kittredge going deep. Slows to a jog, using his acceleration. The big revolver man brings it down.
Oh, and that's one of the difference makers for this USA team. Big players, big throws, and absolute dominant athleticism there. Bo Kittredge making that look absolutely just easy. Not even having to lay out for that one, just reeling it in, nice and calm, and that connection between those two players clearly evident on that score.
Yeah, the power in the Jimmy Mickle sidearm, so impressive.
Yeah, you can see why he got that Callahan Award back in 2014 at the University of Colorado. But yeah, no, fantastic stuff from him. And having had the pleasure of meeting him on a personal basis, I can vouch for he's just such a wonderful guy, really committed to the sport and to especially the mixed division. And here we go, we see that the Colombian hands raised, hands held, as they try and cling on to this gold medal game. Keep the hope alive, keep the dream alive.
Such a different scene than when these two teams faced each other in the pool match. It's a game to 13 here in the gold medal matchup between Colombia and the USA. Slipping under the surface, the huge thunderstorm that rolled through here in the mid-afternoon, making the surface of the field very wet. But the Colombian women are moving this disc nicely now. Cartagena floats one forward to Ivan Alba. No deep threats. I think Colombia do need to put something deep, but when they have sent the disc, it's not been as clinical as the Americans have managed. Round to Cartagena, one of the stars of the World Championships last year in London, winning a silver medal, being beaten by the USA women's team. Stewart chasing that one down, but not able to get a hand to it despite the effort. Into space, and Ospina finds it. But not making forward progress here, the Colombians. Defensive effort, closing off every upfield option. Every time the Colombians look up, there's an American player on the shoulder. Hard running again. Griffith just trying to poach off a little bit inside, leaves a space on the outside of the field. Oh, good cutting in the end zone. Nothing going free, though. Coming back now. Montano.
Indeed, seeing now this more going back to the conservative beginning of this game style of play.
Oh, bid from Stubbs, but not quite enough. George Stubbs gets his fingertips to the disc and just pushes it forward towards the sideline. Colombia pressure, keep it going. And Montano grabs that disc from Duque. Look at the effort from George Stubbs. Toes the line from Montano. This is the margins we're looking at in the gold medal matchup.
Indeed, you could not have asked any more of Captain George Stubbs there. Just getting fingertips to it, but not quite enough to put it out of the pitch there. But valiant effort. Stubbs, of course, originally born in Boston, currently residing over in California, playing for this San Francisco Revolver team. And a number of club teams actually on his roster. But again, appearance at the 2013 World Games Championship. So he already has a gold medal to his name. But gold again from the London. I honestly think if this USA team, if they ever fall on hard times, surely their stash of gold, they would be, they'll be able to use that one. It'll be all right. If anything happens to the dollar, the gold standard will ring true for the USA national side.
I'm not sure how much a big stash of world gold medals will fetch on eBay, but they the team are so well decorated across the board at college, at national, at international level. College club levels. Carolyn Finney.
Indeed, described as the Tasmanian devil of the US women's ultimate scene, but very, very calm as a handler on offense.
Yeah, she says she doesn't like the idea that handlers have a reputation for being slow. And she definitely isn't. Getting free so easily provides them with a powerful option on offense, her ability to pass and move.
Yes, indeed, and a very dedicated player to the sport, having commuted to play for San Francisco Fury before moving over there back in 2016, so she can recommend you some good audiobooks if you need one.
On the sideline, Jorgensen and Mosquera continue their battle throughout this game. Two of the speediest players on the field. Jorgensen, so deadly in defence, has a real knowledge of how much ground she can use and how much space she can leave. The hand block from Mosquera is called back.
Yeah, Mosquera using those long limbs to good effect, but not able to get that one cleanly.
The disc was still in the hand of Jorgensen. Foul called and uncontested. No referees involved. The players make all the calls and all the decisions themselves. And again, the hand of Mosquera.
Yeah, Jorgensen determined to throw that low backhand. Left-handed player, always a bit dangerous.
Freechild. Nice break around the back to Kittredge. Oh, that's an inside break to die for to Jimmy Mickle, opening up the field. Drops the hands low to Lindsley. They're within one of the gold medal. They can feel it now. The pressure from the Colombians has died away, almost on the home straight.
Yeah, no, backhand breaks for days in that point. Look at that around, just finding Lindsley. Nicol really showing the quality of his throwing ability in this game. Saying earlier, an excellent pick for the fantasy. He actually took, I believe, the top or the second point in the stats back in the World Guts Championships back in London last year. Second in stats, yes. With 15 assists and a shocking 12 goals. So dangerous on both sides.
That's why the coaches, Alex Gesquier and Matty Tsang, think he's so dangerous. All these players have got all the skills. Grant Lindsley, one of the most interesting stories to tell about his journey to this World Games team.
Indeed, isolating himself from the world for quite some time.
He went to a Buddhist monastery in Thailand to test himself mentally and spent several weeks in a cave, completely off the grid. He uses the mental strength he found from that experience to drive his training into this World Games team.
Indeed, well, it is paying off with his form in this gold medal match.
Where USA knocking on the door of the gold medal. Massive margin they have against Colombia. Big take high. Forward to Alba. Slipping, not able to get free. Inside break is what is required. Finding Gina Cartagena.
Yeah, and the US team just poaching off the ladies a little bit in the back of the field.
Cartagena sains it, running it down. Ramirez on the ends of the end zone line. Passes to Alba, who taps his feet in.
Oh, that would be Duque with the score there.
Sorry, Duque.
Just trotting it in. But what a rip of a forehand there. Goodness gracious. Ramirez taking that one in and just popping it off. But excellent throwing power from the Colombian women.
Cartagena with a 20 shirt. Absolute mastermind with the disc. She was the hub at the centre of the wheel in London last year, the Colombian women's team getting that silver medal. And proving again why she's so dangerous. Again, the combination of speed and athleticism when she's cutting and deadly accurate and powerful throws when the disc is in her hand. A combination for her team back in Colombia with Mosquera racking up the points at every time those two take the field together.
Yes, indeed. I have to say, I don't fancy the chances of this Colombian side to stop the USA team for 5 unanswered points, let alone 6. But we'll see what they can do on defense now. As the USA have their eyes on the prize. Offensive line coming out to take this gold medal.
Finney to Jorgensen. Oh, sorry, Boscher sends it.
Oh, Mosquera's there.
Big bid, but Jorgensen reads it better. The USA have taken the gold. Jorgensen and Kittredge hug. They have done everything they needed to do in this final and proved themselves back from defeat against the Colombian team in the pool stages. A dominant performance. They take the gold.
Yeah, Mosquera going up early there and high, trying to use her height, but at the end of the day, no match for Jorgensen's superior read. Just the patience to go up when she wanted to, not being baited into going up too early and taking that one down with both hands. Absolute quality, and what a ripping huck from Boscher, putting that to her in the first place. I mean, incredible throw, but disappointing not to see the Colombians come out quite in the second half with the form they had in the first. But you've got to credit this USA team. What quality, what plays.
Yeah, the battle between Jorgensen and Mosquera has been a highlight. Two incredibly athletic players. Bo Kittredge hugs his teammate, his third World Games gold medal. One in Chinese Taipei, one in Colombia, and now on the fields of Wrocław in Poland. Another gold.
Yeah.
Colombians have got a lot to be proud of, and they do not go home empty-handed. Their first World Games medal, a silver.
Yes, indeed. They're looking a little bit sad. It's always difficult to come off the back of a loss in your final game at any tournament. Silver is an excellent achievement, but there's still always that slight downside of having lost your final game. But all credit to Colombia. Nobody would have put any money on them being in this 1-2 game. So credit to them. Really well played from both sides. Such quality ultimate here on the fields in Poland, Wrocław, and just fantastic scenes.
As we see some of the highlights of the gold medal matchup. The game started the way it finished, with Jorgensen taking a high disc above Mosquera. Caroline Finney providing the deep shot there. Lindsley. And captain George Stubbs.
To the sliding hands of Desmond.
We see one of the Cardenas sisters, two 17-year-old twins. That was Valeria. They turn 18 at the end of the week.
Indeed, the veritable future of Colombian ultimate, but also the present and the past.
Saw them explode onto the scene in 2015.
Huge grab.
That was the other Cardenas sister, Manuela. Saw them explode onto the international ultimate scene in 2015 at the under-24 side. We're at the tender age of 15. They crowd-funded their way to that tournament.
And then we see Ford here. Last-minute bid. Great heads-up play.
Keeping that disc alive.
And then Kittredge swooping through, using that height and that length. But determination from the Colombians. Disc ain't down till it's down, and streaming. Number 45 shirt there from Santiago Montaño.
And no doubt the effort that the Colombians have put in, but they could not match the intensity of the USA, and they could not match the intensity of the first occasion when these two teams played against each other. Look at the athleticism of Sarah Griffith. What a take. Eyes never left that disc.
And such composure.
She must have assumed that the Colombian defender would have caught up with her, cutting away from the disc, and Boscher stepping in to take the score from Leanne Hoffman.
As Cardenas steps in to try and get a block.
Esteban Cabolos showing his form with the pull. Lindsley not getting a touch, but getting enough into the field of view. And here's Kocher. Watch the man fly. What a grab. Clatters into the ground. The delight on his face shows. Superstar work for the highlight reel.
And a slow motion hug. Excellent celebrations from this team. Loving the atmosphere. Loving the action.
Mikkel showing what he can do with the disc. That floated disc around the force into space.
Indeed, and quite an easy take from for Bo Kittredge. Normally see him making those bigger plays, but here we go, Georgia Boscher.
That far corner of the end zone must be worn out with all the American shirts rubbing on it. The big take from Nick Stewart.
Just highlight after highlight. I mean, what a match we've just seen. Sarah Griffith there.
Exposing the space down the side of the field. Colombians not able to contain them with forces. Breaking around at will. Superior disc skill.
Torres there, wife of the Colombian captain, popping it into a sensational grab there from Mauricio Martinez. Colombia really showing some excellent skills, just not quite enough depth, I think, and take the latter stage of the game.
Sandy Jorgensen, front and back of this game, scoring the first and last point. Stubbs, what an effort. Not quite enough to stop the Colombian scoring, but that was the pressure that USA brought from the very beginning. And the final point here, Georgia Boscher airing this one out. And as we saw at the very beginning, it's Mosquera and Jorgensen. Well, let's just wrap up this week. Hannah, it's been a really special time in Wrocław in Poland. We've seen some of the most exciting ultimate. The Polish team finishing in 6th. They've played host. They sent the best side they could. 26th in the world. No one expected them to compete for the medals, but we were expecting a high performance, and we got that from them as well.
No, we've said it throughout our coverage. The Polish team really doing themselves a massive credit at this tournament in front of the home crowd, getting loads of support, and just the experience of playing and matching up against these high-level teams as a team, but also on an individual basis, will have brought their game to such a higher level. They will have learnt so many lessons, and credit to them. I mean, I remember watching their number 34 player. I'll see if I can quickly find her name, but she was all over the place in our first game yesterday. The Alexandra Oladishko, she was just on fire everywhere, just bidding out left, right and centre. So take that experience, Poland, bring it on, see if you can go up those rankings some more. But no, excellent hosts, really great spirit, and hopefully see them, as I say, moving up those rankings. But for those top 5 teams, I mean, what can you say, Tom?
They were a different league apart. The Japanese finishing 5th. They had tough games all week. The only win they took was against the Poles. They had periods in some of their games where they looked like they could do some damage, not able to maintain those strings of momentum. Morgan Hibbert gives the salute to the crowd from the Canadians.
Indeed, and if we're talking about Japan, you have to give a huge shout out to Andy Kaneda. What an absolute blinder of a tournament he's had all across the stats board, just making it look so easy to get free deep of these huge athletic players. Watching him play against Bo Kittredge yesterday, I mean, really seeing someone manage to get free on Bo Kittredge 3 or 4 times in a row. How often do we get to see that?
A force to be reckoned with in the future, Japanese ultimate. The Australians richly deserve a mention. Their 4th place finish is not the result they were looking for, but they provided some highlight reel action in all of their games, particularly this morning, putting up a fantastic performance against the Colombians. Maybe that was a sign of things to come. The Colombians not able to recreate the form from earlier in the week.
Indeed, and if we're going to talk about Australia, I mean, what a tournament Tom Tullett has had. Cupcake, and this morning as well, that emotional final point score, working alongside Kat Phillips to just cause devastation against other teams. But now we'll get a chance to talk about these top 3, Canada, Colombia, and the USA.
The International World Games Association President, Mr. Jose Perurena. World Flying Disc Federation President, Mr. Robert Rao.
Robert Rao WFDF president.
World Flying Disc Federation board member and chair of the Women in Sports Commission, Miss Caroline Malone, to present the medals today.
Kaz Malone there. Been a big force for development of the women's game, hosting a lot of the media coverage on behalf of the World Flying Disc Federation from down on the pitch side, interviewing the players.
Indeed, nice to see her in a lovely red dress there. She's been in an very ultimate gear cap as she's been interviewing players, getting the inside track.
Volker Bernardi, Executive Director for the World Flying Disc Federation.
And of course, these are the people that stand behind the sport and allow all these world-class events to happen. So we thank them very much for their hard work.
Mr. Andrzej Banasiak.
As the delegates from the medal presentation team get introduced to the crowd. The World Games mascots, a gift to take home for all of these players. Memories of their week out here in Poland. Canada taking home the bronze.
Yeah, well deserved in their bronze medal match. They really showed such a level of class, just such calm and slick offense, but intense defense. Watching Whitehead match up against Cat Phillips on the Australian side, I mean, what a matchup those two had. What a game.
The Canadians winning the bronze medal against Australia with some class and some form. They were more clinical than the Australians.
And this throwing power shown by some of the gentlemen on their team. I mean, Morgan Hibbert, veteran of the sport. Mark Lloyd as well.
See presentation moving down the line. Catherine Huey receiving her medal, and at the other end, Morgan Hibbert and Mark Lloyd. Rachel Moans.
That haircut, what a look! Definitely good at intimidating the offense. Seeing the Canadians now without their war paint on, which they've been sporting all weekend.
Proud moments for these players. Opportunity to take home some silverware. Jeff Powell receiving his medal.
Yeah, definitely one of the contenders for play of the tournament. His full extension layout score in the later stages of play yesterday. It's already all over the internet and the highlight reels, and yeah, he should be very proud of how he's played this weekend for sure.
Canadians lining up in height order, it would seem, with Hibbert at one end.
Some serious organisation, you would think, from this team. But not surprising to see. They clearly are very disciplined and ordered.
And now,
Hibbert, one of the most experienced players, and Colombia taking the silver. Being announced to the crowd. There they are. Heartbreak at the way they've been defeated by the USA in the final, but so much to be proud of. Beating the USA on day one, beating Canada on day two. All the headlines at the start of this tournament was about the Colombian players. Should be very proud of their performance.
Yes, indeed. We said they were the giant killers at the beginning of their gold medal match, and they have so much to take forward from this tournament. Such a young squad, 17-year-olds, 20-year-olds, whereas you look at the rosters of the other teams well into their mid-20s and 30s, some of them approaching even the age of 40, lending that experience and knowledge to the teams, but taking away from this world stage and having only gotten to Cali by virtue of being the host nation. I mean, they've come on an incredibly long journey to be here, and taking it forward, next rotation in 2021, I mean, heck, I can see them easily in the 1-2 game if they can keep this form up. And it will be the experience and knowledge that they can bring forward from this tournament and those sudden death wins against the North Americans. If they can draw that forward, I mean, the future is very, very bright as their jerseys.
Coach Mauricio Moore should be understandably very proud of the achievements of his team. He also coaches a lot of the junior women, which have generated this powerhouse that is Colombian women's ultimate at the moment, that's provided the backbone of the success for the team in yellow.
Yeah, that Revolution women's team winning national championship after national championship down in South America.
Nina Cartagena in the middle with the dolls. Arms in the air from her.
Yeah, celebrate Colombia. You've earned it. You've done yourselves very, very proud. It's hard fought. The emotions very, very raw, but such a credit.
You can just see the difference between the way the players are reacting to that silver medal, what it means to them as the USA, justifiable winners of this tournament, recovering from that shock, sudden death defeat to Colombia, where they looked completely out of sorts, shaken up by their opponent's hard start, losing the first half 7-3 and coming back to bring it to Universe Point. But then in the final, they showed their real class. No nerves, no mistakes. Nazarov and Freechild receiving their medals, as does Kittredge and Finney.
Yeah, you can see Sandy Jorgensen there. Questions being asked, how was she not on that 2013 squad back in Cali? But certainly an imposing presence, making herself known in this 2017 World Games.
Jimmy Mickle. It's a bright future ahead of Mickle, only 23 years old.
No, 26. 25. No, 25. There we go. Sorry, getting our facts straight over here in the commentary booth. But definitely a long and very promising career still yet to come for Mickle. Plenty of caps plenty of caps to come, I'm sure, for this USA national side. But he's played with very much a high level of throwing ability, but athleticism too to back it up. You see Leanne Hoffman there, again one of the lesser known players on this squad, but by goodness has she shown throughout this weekend that she is well deserving to be on this squad and have her name on that roster and that gold medal around her neck.
Every single one of the US players providing highlight action in that final, all involved, showing their mixture of athleticism, determination, the efforts they've put in. Don't forget the alternate players who were cut from this side were part of the 20-person squad of players that went to all the training camps and all the training tournaments. They'll be cheering from their sofas at home. Indeed. USA are the gold medal winners.
Indeed, and you have to give credit to all of the coaches, all of the support staff, all of the families and partners and siblings back home, everyone involved in these teams' journey to this World Games tournament here.
The national anthem for the USA, gold medal winners here at the mixed ultimate flying disc competition.
And now,
Colombia with the silver, Canada with the bronze.
once again, congratulate all the medalists.
Coaches for the USA, Alex Geskia and Mati Sang, should be justifiably proud. There the two of them are.
And now I would like to invite
And plenty of family and friends in the crowd coming across to support these teams.
Teraz prosimy o zabranie głosu pana prezydenta Światowej Federacji Flying Disc, pana Roberta.
Listen to the words of Robert Rao.
Very much. I'd like to start off by thanking Mr. Jose Perurena, the head of the International World Games Association, for helping to host this amazing event. And so perhaps I'd like to ask you to speak a few words.
Well, only thing was for all the athletes, congratulations. I mean, fantastic competition in these games. We celebrate the 10th Gold Games here after 40 years. At this Flash Disc is one of the best competition in the game. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. So for Flying Disc, this is the 5th edition of the World Games that we've participated in. And it's just been an incredible experience for all the athletes and for all the spectators throughout the world. Really, again, want to thank the World Games Association for putting this together. And of course, we have to thank the folks who really were on the ground making this work. First, Mr. Michał Dul, President of the Polish Ultimate Association and our competition manager. Thank you, Michał. And then second, Gregor Pizak, who's the director of the Wrocław Organizing Committee. You guys did a great job. We've been impressed by being in your beautiful city and the way that you've been able to kit out this beautiful venue. Again, thank you so much. For us, Flying Disc is excited to be a part of such an incredible multi-sports event. We certainly have our long-term plan of making sure that our competitions are better and better, and coming to an event like this teaches us by being able to see all of the other amazing array of sports and how to just grow and make our sport better. Thank you so much to all the athletes, all of your hard work and dedication. It really shows on the field. You put on a real great spectacle. So with that, I just want to say thank you to all the fans, both here in the stands, and I don't know if this is being televised, but if so, hello all, and thank you for your interest and support, and we hope to come back to Birmingham in 4 years and to be bigger and better and put on a bigger spectacle. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Great words there from Robert Rausch, adding a lovely finishing touch to this World Games
we now invite the official photographers.
flying disc mixed ultimate sport. And it's been, what a weekend it's been of games, upsets, passion, all of the just ups and downs that it has been in these top 5 and the 26th hosting Team Poland. Great scenes, great displays, such a credit to themselves, to their families and to the sport of ultimate frisbee here.
Thank you very much, Hannah Pendlebury, for joining me in the commentary box. I've been Tom Stiles, bringing you all the action from Poland in Wrocław, wherever you've been watching. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage we've been bringing you. USA take home the gold from Poland.
Take photographs of our medal winners today.
Moi drodzy, każdy, kto chce zrobić zdjęcie z rodziną znajomych, zapraszamy tutaj. Można teraz zawodników sfotografować z ich medalami.
Colombian team offering a little dance for us here to end the celebrations using music of their choice. Ladies and gentlemen,